Amjad Ali is an experienced IT leader with over 20 years of expertise in digital transformation. He began his career in education and transitions into IT. Good morning. Leveraging his entrepreneurial background to develop effective growth strategies. Currently, as the head of a transformation and growth at Al Ansari, he is dedicated to driving change and fostering a culture of innovation and collaboration. Mr. Ali is recognized as a visionary leader who has helped numerous organizations achieve success through technology-driven growth and profitability. Welcome, Mr. Ali. I have here a few questions, and later, if the time permits, if anybody from the audience have questions, we welcome those questions later. My first question to you is, what global trends do you think will have the biggest impacts on entrepreneurship in Oman in the coming years? Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, first of all, for the organizers for inviting me to this session today. As you mentioned, the question that what I see the trends are going to come in the future and that will impact the entrepreneurship here in Oman. Of course, there are various factors. First of all, I would like to put a light on fourth industrial revolution. We have seen that the technologies like artificial intelligence, big data, machine learning, even cloud or industrial IoTs, these have transformed the industries. Of course, it is creating new challenges also, and it is also creating new opportunities. So those entrepreneurs who want to start their business or who want to have the new ideas of transforming other businesses also, so they can, of course, once they start their business, so they will definitely be unique in terms of adopting to the new industries. Second aspect which I want to talk about is the sustainability. So we have seen overall across the globe that entrepreneurs are focusing on the products and services which are sustainable. So consumers are also demanding more environment-friendly products. And even governments is also putting initiatives to ensure that the businesses are equipped with providing the sustainable solutions and products. So I can see that there is a room for entrepreneurs in Oman to go for the sustainable products. And if those entrepreneurs who are into the products or who are going for these kind of products will definitely flourish and will definitely have a good growth in future. Then we have seen the pandemic recently that it has turned the world upside down, and it has created various opportunities also. And we have seen that people or businesses have moved remote, and businesses have also adopted the online strategy. So those entrepreneurs who are following the remote work and who are following the online business strategy, for example, enhancing the e-commerce and mobile-friendly businesses.
Sure. About when you talked about sustainable projects, can you just elaborate a bit more on what are these projects?
Use of plastic, for example. Introduce some ideas which can eliminate the plastic from the environment. Solar power. So I was talking on one platform, people said that we do not have the energy crisis, so why should we go for the solar? And solar is in fact eco-friendly. It can save our environment. There is a demand, which means that entrepreneurs has to think about such kind of products and solutions.
What do you think are the key factors that contribute to a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem in Oman?
So entrepreneurial ecosystem can flourish only if there is a good coordination or collaboration between the students, educators, and private sector as well as the government institutions. Of course, without these all components, the entrepreneurship cannot, of course, flourish in this industry because there is a need to provide them the support. Second is, of course, availability of resources and funding. As we have seen that we talked about the incubation and accelerators and, of course, co-working space, which is one of the factors that we must have within the region to make sure that those entrepreneurs who have the ideas but they are not having enough support in terms of the facilities which they need, other than the funds which are, of course, We have in Oman some of the bodies like OTF is providing the funding support and of course incubation support also. But providing support to the entrepreneurs is one of the key factors. Another thing which she has rightly mentioned is the culture. If you want to have a good sportsman, so you don't teach him the sports after the university. You teach him the sports from the day one when he is in school. Similarly, entrepreneurship is also something that has to be embedded into the schools, not only from the universities, schools, colleges, and universities. And competition and the events should be conducted within the schools. In this region, it is lacking, and somehow kids of even 10 years, 9 years, they can have the stall in place and they can start selling the products, buying from the outside market, selling, so that they can develop those business skills, business basic skills. This is one of the key factors. Another is the training, of course, who are good at one aspect. Now, for example, they have brought a very big, good business idea, but at the same time, they are lacking in skills of financial management, business planning, and other various skills which are definitely required to manage any business. And of course, to pitch the product in the market, they should have the skills related to marketing. And when we talk about the digital marketing and digital aspects, so if those entrepreneurs who are having these skills, we have seen that they have flourished. So I think these are the key success factors for the entrepreneurship here in Oman.
So education from young age is important, and the culture.
Exactly.
That
is true actually. If, of course, desire to learn.
Yeah.
If somebody, we can of course see from the childhood that where a child wants to be. Some kids, they are very good at drawing. Some kids are very good at playing with gadgets. So we can see from childhood that where this student is going to be. Because I was in education sector also. I was myself an entrepreneur when I started my career 24 years ago. So we can get to know from their early age what is their desire. And even if desire is not there, we can build that desire. We can bring that desire. There are many entrepreneurs who are not even completed their degrees. So the reason is because the entrepreneurship was embedded into their blood. So that is what we have to do it in colleges, universities, and schools. And that can come only because of the collaboration between the businesses, from the educators and the students.
Thank you, and it's skills and interests as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting us for such a fruitful session. I'm Khalid Mansour. I'm from Suhail Bahwan Group. I am a tech specialist and a STEM instructor. Actually, there is one very important topic has been raised by the gentleman, which is the early childhood skills development. So I have been engaged with multiple projects here in GCC region. And I have noticed one thing, that whenever we have any program for any skills development, the teachers, the families, the school leaders themselves, they don't have the right guidance, sources, tools, so they can identify the students where they have the capabilities and the interpersonal skills to be an entrepreneurs when they grow up. Because as they said, it's not intended for everybody to become an entrepreneur, because there is some interpersonal skills, some mindset has to be there. So if we keep it till they grow up, it will be too late to recognize that this can be successful leaders or entrepreneurs. So what is your advice for the families, for the school leaders, in order to empower the family members and the teachers so they can recognize these skills into their kids in the early childhood? And what could be the resources, or what could be the tools in very simple way? There is no need to have multi-millions programs or projects to do that, but what could be the simple steps where anybody can follow if he find or recognize that his kid or one student in the school has shown some of that indicators that he will be one of that entrepreneurs when he grow up? So what could be that plan, or what could be that roadmap? Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a very nice question, in fact, and I was also struggling, and I'm sure that everyone who has kids in their schools, they are struggling with these challenges, because schools are, I will not say most of the schools, but some of the schools are still following that traditional way of teaching. The reason is because the teachers themselves are not equipped. And he has also rightly mentioned the same thing. When I talk about, even I was talking about entrepreneurship also, and other than entrepreneurship, if you go to any field today, whether you want to be a pilot, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, which are traditional trends of how parents were growing their children to become a doctor, to become an engineer. One of the skills which is very important is the coding. Coding is very important. That has to be taught from the childhood to everyone, in fact. It's not only for entrepreneur, it's not only for the developers. It's for everyone, because the coding has to be embedded into every field of life, every walk of life. Then is the data analytics, because data analytics is also related to any field of life. These two things together with ABC and 1, 2, 3 of the education has to be taught together. Now, your question was that how can we do that? Of course, teachers are not equipped, parents are not equipped. Now the platforms are not limited. In fact, if we talk about learning management system, there are plenty of LMS. I will not name here because it will become again something commercial, but are various platforms which are teaching the coding and other subjects, cause and impact analysis. These are taught from the childhood now, means many people are doing it. And even the robotics and all of this. First of all, we need to focus on schools and colleges and universities to introduce such kind of courses which are available across the globe. So, as your question is so big, so we have short time, so it cannot be answered.
Yeah, maybe you can have this discussion
I can have a personal
one-to-one.
discussion.
Thank you very much. And sorry. Thank you.